Detonation of 13,000 nuclear warheads in a single synchronized trigger represents a localized thermal injection of 500 megatons into the Earth's crustal boundary. This concentrated release of kinetic energy disrupts the tectonic equilibrium, initiating a planetary-scale mechanical failure of the lithosphere. The atmospheric seal fractures as the sudden expansion of superheated plasma creates a vacuum displacement, triggering an irreversible chain reaction of thermal and seismic oscillations. The immediate ignition of the global nuclear arsenal generates a fireball with a core temperature of 100 million degrees Celsius, instantly vaporizing 400,000 tons of solid matter into ionized gas. Within 0.000001 seconds, the intense X-ray emission creates a high-pressure shockwave that compresses the surrounding air to the density of steel, crushing every carbon-based structure within a 50-mile radius into microscopic dust. For any biological observer, the retinas liquefy before the neural pathways can register the flash, as the thermal radiation delivers a lethal energy dose at the speed of light. The atmospheric column above the detonation sites undergoes immediate thermal expansion, accelerating air molecules to supersonic velocities and stripping the ozone layer from the stratosphere. This vacuum effect draws millions of tons of pulverized Earth into the upper atmosphere, increasing the optical density of the sky to a point of total solar occlusion. The kinetic energy from the blasts transitions into seismic waves, which travel through the Earth's mantle at 8 kilometers per second, fracturing tectonic plates and triggering volcanic discharge at every unstable fault line. The crust vibrates with an amplitude sufficient to collapse subterranean granite formations, effectively liquefying the foundations of continental masses. Thermal radiation ignites 4 million square kilometers of forest and infrastructure, releasing 150 million tons of black carbon soot into the troposphere within the first 24 hours. This mass of particulate matter absorbs 99% of incoming solar radiation, causing the surface temperature to drop by 20 degrees Celsius in less than a week. The hydrologic cycle ceases as evaporation halts. The lack of thermal energy stops the movement of oceanic currents, leading to the stagnation of the world's water masses. Nitrogen oxides produced by the heat of the explosions begin the chemical deconstruction of the remaining atmosphere, allowing unfiltered ultraviolet C radiation to sterilize the planetary surface. The synchronized detonation of 13,000 nuclear units forces a permanent shift in the Earth's rotational dynamics. The massive displacement of crustal material and the injection of billions of tons of debris into the atmosphere alter the planet's mass distribution, slightly shifting its axial tilt. This mechanical imbalance disrupts the geomagnetic field generation within the outer core, weakening the magnetosphere and exposing the surface to high-energy solar protons. The atmosphere, now a dense mixture of sulfuric aerosols and silicate dust, exerts a crushing 15% increase in surface pressure at sea level, effectively turning the planetary boundary layer into a toxic, high-pressure oven. Every physical system that once supported biological life now operates as a specialized mechanism for heat retention and radioactive containment. The mechanical integrity of the global food chain collapses as the cessation of photosynthesis removes the primary energy input for the biosphere. Atmospheric pressure fluctuations create permanent hypercanes, massive storm systems fueled by the extreme temperature differential between the scorched impact zones and the rapidly cooling oceans. These storms move at 400 kilometers per hour, eroding topsoil down to the bedrock and transporting radioactive isotopes across every square meter of the planet. The high concentration of strontium-90 and cesium-137 integrates into the molecular structure of the remaining soil and ice, ensuring a permanent state of ionizing radiation that prevents the restabilization of complex cellular bonds. Over the following months, the lack of solar heating leads to the freezing of freshwater systems to a depth of 2 meters, locking the planet in a state of thermal inertia. The weight of the accumulated soot and frozen particulate matter increases the pressure on the polar ice caps, while the absence of wind-driven oxygenation leads to total marine anoxia in the coastal shelves. The Earth becomes a closed mechanical system of cooling rock and toxic gases, where the kinetic energy of the initial blasts has been fully converted into a static, radioactive wasteland. The planetary engine remains in a state of stalled operation, with no mechanism for thermal recovery or biological reactivation.